Hello, I'm Tueyan, your companion on the Insightful Journey channel. Today, we will together find the answer to a question that almost all of us have pondered. Why is it that the more connected we are, the lonelier and more pressured we feel? Have you ever wondered why on a beautiful morning, scrolling past the dazzling successes of others, your heart suddenly feels heavy and anxious? It's not because of bad news, but because of other people's travel photos, expensive gifts, and achievements, right? Then, unintentionally, the feeling of comparison and self-doubt creeps in, creating an invisible pressure. That negative energy doesn't just stop on the screen. It also makes us easily irritable, unjustly lashing out at our dearest loved ones, people who have nothing to do with that photo. Why do we let those vain things control our emotions and steal our inner peace? And the solution? Is it perhaps a powerful, perhaps slightly harsh-sounding, but wise living strategy? The art of letting go of vanity. Today, we will dissect this comparison trap and find out whether stillness, deliberate letting go, is the true power for us to build internal peace. I went through that stage. The stage where every time I saw an acquaintance showing off their success, showing off their dream life, I questioned myself. What did I do wrong? Why am I lagging behind? That's when I realized I was falling into a psychological trap called the bragging effect on social media. Folks, we need to remember one simple truth. Social media is a perfectly edited play. It's carefully painted slices, just the tip of the iceberg before showing it to others. People only post success, never failure. I witnessed this story, the story of a friend named Hung. Outwardly, Hung always presented himself as a successful businessman, constantly checking in at golf courses and five-star resorts. Everyone admired him. Everyone was amazed. I remember one time, Hung called me for coffee. When he sat down, his face was pale, his eyes deeply shadowed. He didn't brag at all. He just whispered to me, I can't hold on anymore. Everything is just pretense, an outer shell so people think I'm wealthy. I'm living under horrific pressure and no one knows. The lesson learned. When you compare your real life to the movie set of others, you hurt yourself. Former President Theodore Roosevelt said a classic quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy." This quote shows that anxiety does not come from others, but from our own act of comparison. Why are we so easily swayed by those vain pictures? Because deep down, we have an instinctive need for recognition and belonging. When we see others succeed, the ego within us is hurt, creating a feeling of lack and being left behind. In Buddhist teachings, this is a form of craving, attachment. We often confuse admiration with envy. Admiration, positive, with wisdom, is, I congratulate you, I acknowledge that success, and I will try to learn from you. This is Tui He, sympathetic joy, happiness with the success of others. Envy, negative, destructive, is, I hate that you have it, and I feel uncomfortable seeing it. This is the fire that burns your inner self. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's when you need to switch from envy to sympathetic joy, or use a stronger strategy. So, is letting go of vanity the solution? I think, if we understand it as a deliberate unconcern, a letting go in the Buddhist spirit, then the answer is yes. It is not indifference or apathy to the world. It is the focusing of energy on what we can control, which is our own life. It is the realization that each person has a path and a rhythm of their own, You cannot compare a sailboat gliding on the ocean with a race car speeding on asphalt. Both are moving, but in two different environments, under two different rules. That comparison is meaningless. To implement this strategy of stillness, I suggest 3 simple steps, easy to apply to daily life. Shift your perspective from envy to learning. When you see someone succeed, instead of feeling bad, ask yourself, what about them can I learn from? See them as a mirror rather than a yardstick to measure your self-worth. Practice sympathetic joy every day. Manage the information flow. Set boundaries. Actively reduce the time you spend on social media by half, or completely disconnect during meals and bedtime. Dedicate that time to activities that bring real value and nourish your soul. Reading, meditating, deep conversations with loved ones. Have you noticed that people who are truly busy and successful rarely spend all day scrolling through social media? Focus on the circle of influence. Author Stephen Covey, in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, taught us, focus on what you can change, the circle of influence, rather than what you cannot, the circle of concern. The things on social media, other people's bragging stories, are outside your control. Focus on yourself. Sleep better. Learn new skills. Treat the people next to you better. That is the true richness, the sustainable inner peace. Dear friends, the journey to escape comparison pressure is the journey to turn inward, to deeply understand your own true worth. The art of letting go of vanity is not a rude attitude, but a mindful strategy. A strategy to protect your soul from chaotic information and virtual values. Remember, your life is not a speed test. You don't need to race anyone. Walk on your own path with your own pace. That is the happiest and most sustainable path you can create. What do you think about this deliberate stillness strategy? Have you ever experienced the feeling of being suffocated by social media? Leave a comment to share your feelings and how you overcame it. If this knowledge and these experiences are useful to you, please like and subscribe to join me in discovering more profound life lessons.